Hello everyone, Lorenzo here. Today I am going to be showing you guys my tier list for the assault rifles in Arena Breakout Infinite. Recently I've been enjoying playing with assault rifles a lot. I've tried many different ones, basically all of them. I even have dedicated videos for many of them, which you can find in the pinned comment right below in the comment section. And for those of you who might be trying to decide which AR to invest in or which one to try next, I thought I would do a little bit of a tier list with my overview of which ones I think are great, medium, and really bad. If you find the content useful or interesting, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and most importantly, remember that this tier list will be biased based on my preferences. I will try to be as objective as possible by also looking at some of the stats of some of these guns, but overall it's still really going to be based on my own experience. So basically, if you disagree, just let me know in the comments, just keep it civil. Let's get straight into it. The first gun that we're looking at is the AKM. Now, the AKM actually made a little bit of a comeback this season. We're currently in Season 2 in Arena Breakout Infinite. And to be fair, so the thing with the AKM, if we take a quick look at it, it's got medium firing power. To make it viable, you really have to build it up to like this level. It's still gonna have 600 RPM, which is kind of low. It's still gonna have medium firing power, which is not ideal. Recoil control, you can get it up pretty good, but it's never really gonna be like, you know, really good. It's controllable, but could be better. And the real problem is that in order to like really make it viable, you need to spend around 350k on it, which makes it really not worth it. So for me, the AKM goes, yeah, I think into D tier, to be honest. Yeah, because for that kind of money, you can build virtually anything else. I would say maybe between C and D. But I would like to see it higher up, but for now, it's not really that viable of an assault rifle. Next, the M4. The M4 is a really great assault rifle. Good RPM, good firing power. You can get it into the 90s for recoil control. And I think it's really good. It maybe misses some of the features that would make it like an S tier, and also the ammo for it. Sometimes like A1s feel a little bit underpowered. I would put, on my experience, the M4 in the A tier. The FAL. I used to run the FAL a lot back then, Season 0, Season 1, when when time to kill was lower. I really liked the FAL. I actually kind of played it as a DMR. Now that they lowered its range and now that it has quite a lot of recoil, I'm not really a fan of it anymore. In my opinion, this gun has too much recoil, it's expensive to kit up properly, and it's expensive to run because you ideally want to run it with M62, which is super expensive. Running it full auto with M80s just doesn't really seem worth it to me. For me, the FAL goes into the C tier, guys. The H4, I don't need to say too much about the H4. It's a well-known meta gun. It goes straight into the S tier. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, let's take a quick look at an H4, guys. H4, if you build it to like a top-notch level, I think this is probably my favorite build for it. Over 90 recoil control. It's got great ergonomics, it's got 910 muzzle velocity, 900 RPM high firing power. That 900 RPM and the lack of recoil absolutely melts people, even with A1s. It's an absolutely brutal gun and probably the best assault rifle in the game. So yeah, that's gonna make it into S tier. Then we have the MDR. The MDR is considered to be one of the more budget assault rifles. I believe, let's check the stats. Yes, it's high firing power. So actually, like a foregrip that I really like with it is the tilted. because it does suffer from horizontal recoil control, as you can see. And with this muzzle attachment, you can get it up to around about 83 vertical, 40 horizontal, which is a bit low. RPM is decent, 700, firing power is pretty good. So actually, it's quite good and it's cost effective, but I struggle a little bit with the horizontal recoil control. I feel like you really have to be up close to be effective with it. So for me, it's not as good as an M4, but it is better than the FAL in my opinion. And it's budget, so I would put it in B tier. The AK102 is another budget-friendly AR. It's actually probably my favorite budget-friendly AR, the AK102. Let's go look at some of the stats for the AK102. Like, my favorite build is probably this one right here. Let's see, this one right here. As you can see, 88 vertical, 78 horizontal. It does have medium firing power and 600 RPM, so these things could be a little bit better, but this gun is so freaking stable. Around about 300k, which is, I mean, it's not really like a budget price, but this is also like a really premium build. You can build it a little bit less good than this, and it's still going to be super, super stable. Like, for example, with, let's say, this mid-tier build right here. As you can see, we still have 85 and 74 vertical recoil control and horizontal recoil control. And actually, this build goes for around 220. I really, really, really like this gun. It's incredibly, incredibly stable. Not sure I'd put it at the same level of the M4, but I do like it better than the MDR. So for me, and also for the price, for me, it kind of goes in between A and B tier. The 74N used to be the prime budget AR in previous seasons, but now, with a relatively low RPM, I believe we've got 550. To get it to a good recoil level, you really have to spend a lot of it. The firing power is medium. I tried it recently, and like, for me, this gun is really like a hit or miss. I would put this gun in C tier next to the FAL. The 74U goes straight into the D tier. Unfortunately, it's not a viable assault rifle. The AUG, now the AUG, has high firing power. It's got really, really good rate of fire, 750 high firing power. It's got low recoil. It's a really great gun. It's not that expensive. Let's see, actually, my favorite build with it is probably this one, I believe. It's very easy, very straightforward to build. And if we look at the price, we're around 200k. The only issue with this gun is 30 round mags. I've killed a lot of people with the AUG, but I've been killed a few times because I ran out of bullets during a fight. For this reason, I put this gun, yeah, I would say I would put it in A tier. I think it's better than the AK102, but I'm not a huge fan of the fact that there's only 30 round mags. You know what? Yeah, it's arguably better than the AK102, and yeah, I would put it in A tier, to be honest. Now, the F2000. The F2000 is, in my opinion, one of the more underrated assault rifles in the game. If we look at the F2000, we have 850 RPM. You can get it up to high firing power. The recoil, let's look at a build. This build right here, it's super stable with 84 and 83 V recoil and H recoil control. High firing power, amazing muzzle velocity. It's super stable, 850 RPM, and it's got some of the cheapest 50 round mags out of all assault rifles in the game. I absolutely love this gun. This is the poor man's H4. We could say it's like not as good as the H4. I would maybe put it between, maybe put it between S and A tier. I would put it somewhere there. But so far it's the closest thing to the H4 for definitely cheaper. Now the AR-57 for me is a very, very similar deal to the F2000s. If we look at the stats of the AR-57, this is my favorite build for it. 90 vertical recoil control, 86 horizontal recoil control. It's got 850 RPM, it's got high firing power, and it's just a really, really, really good assault rifle. I put the AR-57 in the... I would put it in the S tier. Now the question is the AR-57 better than the F2000? Maybe we can do a little bit of a comparison. I mean, if we look at price, we're at 300 for a premium build that's gonna have top-notch recoil stats, muzzle velocity, rate of fire and firing power. If we look at an F2000, once again we go with a premium build. I mean, I think this is pretty much as good as you can get it. It's going to be more or less the same price. It's got the same rate of fire, the same firing power. Recoil control is slightly worse on paper. Effective range is slightly less, accuracy is slightly less. We're pretty much there, but to be fair to it, I would put the AR-57 in S and the F2000 in, let's say, A+ or S-. Next, the Ace31. The Ace31 is a budget king. It's actually gotten buffed this season. It shoots 762x39. It's a very stable gun. A lot of people love it. Is it as good as the M4 or the AUG? That's an excellent question. To be fair, I find it less controllable than these other guns. I would maybe put it at the same level as the AK-102. I do think it's better than the MDR, especially for the price. I would put the Ace31 between A and B tier, probably just because of how cheap it is. It probably deserves an A tier if you put like everything combined. But here we're going to also really look at performance before everything else. So I would put that in A-, B+. The AEK, I was just running it yesterday. This gun absolutely slaps. Let's take a quick look at some of the numbers with the AEK here, also to compare it to some of the other top tier guns that we've run recently. This is my top tier build with it. 385,000, sometimes it even goes for more. Let's look at some of the streamer builds, like for example, like this build right here with 81 and 81. It's a little bit better than my own build, actually. So if we select this build, which has some really overly expensive parts, maybe we remove the red tube and we put this other... Yeah, we maybe like check it out like this, with this foregrip. This is a really premium build right here. As you can see, the price, we're in H4 terrain. However, the stats are not as good as the H4. The 800 RPM is really good. The firing power is actually medium. So this gun actually got nerfed, and for the price, medium firing power. Don't get me wrong, it's still really good. It feels like a high firing power, but yeah, I think it's been nerfed a little bit, but it's still really, really, really good. To be fair, for the price, I'd rather pick up an AR-57 or maybe even an H4. So I know I just said that we're not really factoring in price as much, but when we're looking at a $500,000 weapon, medium firing power, I would say I would put it in... yeah, I don't know. I think... Is it better than the M4 for the price? I would put it in between S and A again, maybe comparable to the F2000, although the F2000 is cheaper. 762 by 39 does hit harder than 556 by 45. And that's why I'll put it in A+, rivaled by the F2000, which, let's say, has the same RPM, but better firing power. So I would say S-, A+ is fair for the AEK. Now, the Scar L. The Scar L is actually a really fun gun to play. If you look at the Scar L, you can get it up. There's this build that I really like. You can get it up to high firing power, and you can actually get the recoil up to very low. This gun is actually really great. The only problem with it is really only just one problem: low rate of fire. So it's not good up close. You will get melted with 500 RPM, but if you are fighting medium range, this thing is great. It really hits like a truck. The price, it's not really that cheap for something with 500 RPM. But if you get in that sweet spot of range, it's super easy to control and it does a lot of damage. I would recommend running top tier ammo with this, like 995s, because you're gonna have to compensate that lower RPM for higher damage. So I would really run with the 995s. It is really quite a good gun. The only issue is that RPM. I would put it, honestly, due to the fact that it's really quite situational, I would put it... Is it better than an MDR? I think it's... yeah, it's really just quite situational. That's the issue with it. I would maybe put it in B tier. I would find it right down the middle. Maybe... yeah, maybe B+. No, let's put it in B tier for now. As you can see, I'm a little bit undecided. Just really due to that low RPM. Now, the T951. Guys, the T951 is one of my favorite guns because it's bloody cheap. It has... let me just show you guys, man. Let me just show it to you guys. This build, even this budget build, without even looking at a super good build, right? This budget build is a 200k, just shy of it. And look at the stats. They're amazing. They're literally amazing. 650 RPM, could be a little bit better. And then you go with this build, the best build that you can get with it. Yes, we're more in the like 350, 400 range, but it's got amazing recoil stats. And the thing is, the tier 5 ammo for this gun, it's super good. It's one of the cheaper, and it's super stable, this gun. It's really stable. So look, it's not gonna be as good as like an AR-57. But to be fair, for the price, honestly, adjusted for price, this gun is arguably like as good as an AEK. Adjusted for price, but performance-wise, I would put it... Dude, I would put it in... Because as a budget gun, in my opinion, it's better than the Ace31 and AEK-102. For me, this is the budget assault rifle, the T951. I put this in A tier. SG550, I really don't like this gun. D tier for me. It's got... I mean, we can take a look at it just so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's got... you can get it up to medium firing power, I believe. Rate of fire is low. This gun is just simply not worth it. Nobody uses this. D tier. The G3, I don't like the G3. It has too much recoil. It's expensive to run. And because you need to run good ammo with it. The RPM is low. It's kind of like a Scar L, but worse in my opinion. For me, this goes into C tier. Some people are good with it. I'm not. C tier. The AK-12. The AK-12 is a great gun. It's actually not super expensive to run. I think it's arguably better than the AEK and the F2000. This goes, the AK-12 goes in A tier for me, or S tier, sorry. It's gonna be the other S tier gun next to the H4, the AR-57, and the, well, the AK-12. If we look at some stats real quick, we've got great RPM. Let's look at what is probably my favorite build for this gun, which is this one. We've got great recoil control. The thing with this gun is that the bullets that you're shooting with it, 545 by 39, especially BP and BS, man, they really hit hard. 74 and 84 recoil, so very controllable, good muzzle velocity, very stable from the hip. High firing power, 730 RPM, quite good. This gun, I don't know. It's better than the stats give off. It's really stable. It's fun to use. I really enjoy the AK-12. Is it fair to say that it's better than the AEK and the F2000 though? It is arguable that maybe this gun should be here, but I'll just put it in S tier because I personally like just love the AK-12 and I think it's really great. And just to put 3 guns in the S tier, we'll put this one in as well. Now, the MCX. The MCX is not a good assault rifle because it's basically like a submachine gun. Super low range. Yeah, as you will see from one of the videos that I did, it's really not an effective assault rifle in my opinion due to literally super low effective range. For me, I mean, I guess I'd rather use an MCX or an AKM. I don't think it's like straight up D tier, but it's also, yeah, I don't know. I would put it here. I would put it in between D and C. And the PCC-9, for me, the PCC-9 is a very strange assault rifle. And I'll show you why. So you can actually build it up to like amazing recoil stats, but the rate of fire 600 RPM, firing power is high. Weird thing, semi-automatic. You have to tap fire this, and you have to tap fire this with 9x19. Guys, what is this gun? It's not a very effective assault rifle, and for me, this is gonna be my other D tier assault rifle. And finally, guys, the T03. This gun is really quite good. It's, let's say, the sister gun to the T951. I do like the T951 better because it's a little bit more stable on the horizontal recoil side. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult, especially at range, to hit your shots with the T03 due to the horizontal recoil sway, which, by the way, is in a way quite similar like to the MDR. However, other than that, the gun is really quite good to control. It's got high firing power, it's got good RPM. It's more expensive than the T951, however. To be fair, it's a hard one. In my personal experience, it would be like an A- or a B+. So on the same level as the Ace or the AK-102, but a lot of people are gonna disagree with that. A lot of people will say that it should be in A tier and that maybe the T951 should be down here. But for me, I would put the T03 half a step below the T951, the AUG, and the M4 due to that horizontal recoil control, which I sometimes find difficult to control and to hit my shots. And that's basically it, guys. So, I mean, arguably the best assault rifle in the game is the H4. The worst assault rifle in the game is either the AKS-74U or the PCC-9, followed by the SG550. So, there's a lot of use cases in between from assault rifles that are good up close, like the MCX, but that are dog shit at a range, to assault rifles that are really good at range but dog shit up close, like the Scar L or the FAL, in my opinion, or the G3. Assault rifles that are kind of jack of all trades, like the AK-102 or the M4 or the F2000. Assault rifles that dominate, like the AR-57, the H4, the AK-12, the AEK to an extent. And then the budget kings, the Ace31, the AK-102, the MDR, and finally the T951. So I really hope that if you're looking into assault rifles, that this breakdown gives you a good understanding of what does what. Obviously, you're gonna have to figure out what you like the most, but I really hope that you find this useful. If you did, consider liking, consider subscribing, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I hope to see you in the next video. Take care, guys.